Hello friends, welcome to this video. Today I have for you an especially fun version of dracozoology. Today we're doing a swamp dragon. If you are unfamiliar with dracozoology, I will briefly explain. These videos are basically like a field guide to the dragons of a world called Thea, which is super similar to Earth, except it has dragons. If you'd like some more explanation, I'd definitely go look at one of the other videos in this series, but this brief explanation should hold you over, I think. Also, disclaimer, as always, if you hear anything like in the background that sounds like a dog gnawing on a chew toy, that is because my dog is gnawing on his chew toy in the background. And if I lock him out of this room, he might just scream. We wouldn't want that, would we? In any case, my inspiration for today is actually very much the new Fallout TV show that now, at the time of posting, is not so new anymore. But it was new when I was making this drawing, okay? So I knew I wanted to do a swamp dragon that was very much inspired by the gulper, especially the gulper in the show, which is so nasty, oh my gosh. Which, if you have seen the gulper in the show or on like any of the Fallout games, it very much reminds me, at least, of a salamander. So naturally, my inspiration was then salamander related. Based on its habitat, similarities to salamanders, and its coloration, this dragon is referred to as the rusted newt dragon. It is really hard to say newt dragon. Like, holy crap. Anyway, it's difficult to tell the size in the image shown, but this dragon is actually roughly the size of a human. They can be actually on the small side 6 feet long, and on the large side, 10 feet long. So they're actually quite large predators in the swamp Everglades, basically regions where there's a lot of mud. You can find these. There are a lot of reasons as to why this dragon is referred to as a newt dragon, but I think the main reason would be the secretion of slime that it has all over its skin. Most dragons, like other reptiles, are not slimy. They are dry, they are smooth, and their scales are quite almost soft because they are so smooth. And a lot of people actually think snakes are slimy, but in fact they are not. If you have ever touched a snake, they actually are really fun to pet. They feel really good. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent, but okay, in any case, most dragons are dry and scaly. These dragons secrete a toxic slime all over their skin. This not only helps them remain clean in their muddy habitat, but it also can deter predators who would predate a 6-foot-long dragon, well, other dragons. And that way, I'm kind of thinking quite a bit of like hagfish, because hagfish have this like slimy coat that helps them escape from predators. So not only does the newt dragon have that as part of its defense, it also releases a toxin into this slime. And not only does that further deter predators, poachers, or anything wanting to take it and eat it, it often helps them predate upon prey that would be otherwise too large for them. So even though they don't have venom glands in their mouths that like venom is injected through the teeth, that's not what they do. They actually, quite often when they're hunting, they will bite and rip at the same time. And this actually serves to get the mucus coming from their skin into the wound of their prey. And in this way, it helps them take down large prey. We don't really think of this very often, but actually predator animals can be quite heavily injured by their prey if you think about it. And so being able to kind of do a quick bite and tear and then done, and not really having to struggle with your prey, is pretty advantageous. And if this method kind of sounds a little bit familiar, I am also thinking of Komodo dragons from the island of Komodo. Those dragons have, get it, dragons. Anyway, those lizards, they do have venom, but also, I think for a long time it was thought that it was just the bacteria in their mouths that would be make a wound so infected that they could take out like a water buffalo in one bite. That's kind of what I'm thinking of with these guys. Another advantage to this slimy skin that they have is that it assists in gas exchange. These animals are definitely too large to efficiently consume oxygen through their skin, but so they do breathe with lungs. However, if they're like in a situation where it is difficult to breathe through their lungs, maybe they have to stay underwater for a little bit too long, or they're in a really muddy area, they can actually do a little bit of gas exchange through their skin, and it helps them basically hold their breath even longer if they're hiding under the water or in a puddle of mud. Now, another thing you'll notice about these dragons is that they do not have 4 legs and 2 wings. They, in fact, have 6 legs and 2 quite small, I would say, vestigial wings. If you think about it, it kind of makes sense why they would lose their wings, because their hunting strategy is very much a lie in wait and then pounce when something is on top of you. And you don't even really have to chase it down or fight it. You just bite it once, let it go, and then track it. You kind of don't really need wings for that. And so over time, their bodies adapted. Additionally, these dragons have extra legs. Now, I was thinking perhaps there are many types of dragons that have extra legs. And so I would want to think about like why evolutionarily that would happen. And so would it just apply to these guys specifically? It would be like a whole class of dragons. I'm not sure. I haven't thought that far ahead, but at least we can say that this species can use its extra legs to assist it when climbing. They are in fact very good climbers, as hopefully you can see by the pose that this dragon is taking. It is just casually climbing down an almost completely vertical surface, and it's not even trying that hard. Kind of reminds me of a gecko. Did I put gecko pads on its feet? Not quite, because I didn't end up finishing the feet, but we can just assume that they're there. Geckos actually stick to surfaces using these like tiny little hairs on their toe pads, which is really, really cool. And I'm going to apply that to this dragon retroactively. So, yeah. In any case, they are quite good climbers. Extra legs do help them climb and stay secure in whatever they're climbing on. Also, if the dragon is in a very swift or, I guess, tumultuous, I can't think of the right word, torrential, I don't know, river, where basically there are a lot of currents going around, it has extra legs to help it stay in place, wedged between some rocks or within the mud, etc. Basically, it's extra stabilized. You will also notice that this dragon has an extra pair of eyes. The front eyes are the primary eyes, and they do the bulk of the work with high acuity color vision, and the rear eyes are primarily like extra movement sensors. They're just like additional like power in sensing really tiny movements. Because if you think about it, these dragons live in probably environments where it's really hard to see through the water. It's quite dark, and there's not a lot of contrast between probably like the shadow of a prey and the rest of the water. I'm thinking turbid waters and mud, and having an extra pair of eyes that basically is just hyper fixated on catching those very slight shadows that are moving in a specific way that is similar to what a prey would move like, is like, that is what they are for. They are advantageous. They help the newt dragon see movement in turbid water. Now, this aspect I'm actually stealing from spiders. Now, I would look it up, but I'm not going to because I'm too lazy. But I heard at a presentation the other day that spiders separate their visual abilities between their various eyes. So they have eyes that are really high acuity color vision eyes, and they have other eyes that see movement really well. Now, if you know anything about spider vision, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. In, I think, my last video, I mentioned that I was going to a conference. Yeah, I went to it, and I've been back. The spider presentation was in that conference. Don't worry, it wasn't like unpublished research, it was something else, because we do not share unpublished research on the internet, people. We don't do it. It's just plain rude. Now, the reason this is called the rusted newt dragon is because of those orangey reddish patches that we see kind of under its armpits and under its wings and such. This particular species uses those patches for mate selection. The brighter your patches are, the more fit you are to have as a mate. If you think about it, the rest of this dragon is quite well camouflaged. If you're thinking about swamp colors, it's basically mud colored, greenish mud colored, But there are these bright patches that kind of make it potentially more susceptible to predators. But if it is a specimen, an individual that has bright patches but manages to survive, that means that it is very strong and good at living, which means it will pass those strong genes into the next generation, which is obviously what we all want in a mate at the end of the day. I kind of like that the name implies that there are other species of newt dragon, so if you have any ideas for other species of newt dragons, let me know. I think it would be really cool to do one that is like super camouflage and mossy looking, almost kind of, oh gosh, I'm thinking of like a species of amphibian, but it's got like tendrils on its body that are very like mossy. Maybe it's a type of turtle. I'm not sure. If you know what I'm talking about, please let me know. But yeah, I think there are definitely future species of newt dragons. Also, this entire series is supposed to be collaborative. So if you have any dracozoology dragon ideas, feel free to make them and tag me on anything or send them to me. Feel free to create dragons that aren't newt dragons as well. Basically, any type of dragon will do. I also have a little section in the Discord server where you can submit your dracozoology dragons for everybody to see, and you can even inspire more ideas for other people to do their own versions of dragons, and then it's just, a positive feedback loop, and it's awesome, and everyone's making cool dragons. And the world of Thea is just populated with so many different types of dragons, and it's amazing. Yeah. I added a little bonus art to this video just because I was really proud of this one, actually. This is, I'm trying to draw Lucy from the Fallout TV show. It's a super cool show, and I really loved her character. The TV show definitely played a lot into the morphology and the colors of the rusted newt dragon, and the fact that it has, like, toxins in its slime. Because Fallout is all about like radiation and stuff. That's also why it has extra limbs. I was very inspired, okay? But yeah, another thing that I was trying to explore in both of these art pieces was making a painting that isn't just like a character, but kind of has some abstract elements in the background, something that I would like as a print potentially. So yeah, that's why I had the dragon in an interesting pose, and I have some abstract elements in the background of Lucy. Basically, I'm trying to level up, and at least for me, I really enjoy art. Like if I'm gonna buy a print, I like to buy something with like a figure in the center that then has like abstract elements in the background. So there's like some beautiful artwork in multiple realms. It's kind of hard to explain, but it just gets me right in the right spot in the brain. Yeah, and the scribbles in the background kind of helped me like have some interesting shapes in the painting. I don't know. I go through phases of hobbies, and I'm really into like a painting phase right now. So it's kind of awesome. Another thing that has me excited about doing art again is that like you can take a break from art and your skills don't go away. And in fact, a lot of the time they improve. At least that's been my experience. Because just a few months ago, my humanoid paintings looked like this. And at the time, that was like full max effort of what I could do. And I think that I'm getting better, at least in terms of being able to make portraits like how I want to make them. Maybe you like the other ones better because that's more your style, but you know, that's another cool thing about art. We each have our own specific tastes. In any case, in a roundabout fashion, this also leads me to ask you guys if there would be any interest in prints. I figured I might just make some for fun, especially just to have in my room. But if I order extra, maybe I could even have like a giveaway or something. I don't know. Just let me know if you guys would be interested in prints. Prints, not prince like the son of a king. Yeah. I wish I could give you all one of those, but sadly that is not within my power. In any case, this is the part of the video where I say, let me know if you have any additional cool ideas specifically about the rusted newt dragon. Specifically, if you guys have any ideas for a scientific name, because I didn't figure one out this time and they definitely need a scientific name. Yeah. Also, if you have any ideas for new dracozoology species that are completely different and new, and if the newt dragon like grosses you out, you can also let me know that. Like, make a cuter one next time. Like, sure, of course. I don't know. I just think it's really fun to have other people to talk about dragons with. That's all. Okay, in any case, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are having or will have a great day, and I'll see you around.